Song of the Avatar, Part 2 of Chapter 7, Wisdom. Krishna, you have told me that someday I will be able to see past the illusion of Maya. And so you will, Arjuna. But if Maya is illusion, why does everything seem so real? That's a good question, and the answer has to do with different levels of reality. When one is dreaming, the dream is real. But upon awakening, the dreamer is now in a higher level of reality, and the reality of the dream now appears to have been but a brief illusion. In the same way, when one awakens to the higher self, the daily life of physical survival begins to be seen as a lower level of reality. And that's Maya in a nutshell. But Maya is a difficult concept to understand. Even an enlightened sage named Narada had a hard time grasping it. Once Narada was walking with Krishna, who was in a great mood that day. "Narada, my friend, you have done so well on your spiritual path that I'm offering you a boon." "A boon?" "A gift, anything you desire." Narada had to think carefully about what it was that he desired. Okay, I've got it. I know that Purusha and Prakriti are spirit and matter. What I don't understand is how spirit can hide within all forms of matter in such a way that people can't see the unity of life. Ah yes, the illusion of Maya. As my boon, Krishna, would you please explain to me the secret of Maya? Yes, Narada, I will tell you the secret. But first, I need you to get me a glass of water. It's really hot today and my throat is very dry. No problem. I'll get you some water right away. So Narada set off across the rice fields in the direction of the nearest house that he could see. The sun was beating down, and by the time Narada got to the house, he was ready for a glass of water himself. When the door opened, Narada forgot all about his thirst as well as his errand. All he could think of to say was, "Will you marry me?" "Maybe, if you take a bath first." They did get married. They raised a happy family that grew and grew. Over the years, Narada discovered that he had a knack for business. He became a wealthy landowner. Then, one day, during a raging monsoon season, a devastating flood surged through Narada's farmlands. The crops were destroyed, along with buildings and cattle. Narada saw his entire family swept away in the flood. When the flood waters receded, he saw that everything was lost. Suddenly, the rain vanished, and Narada felt the sun beating onto his back. A figure stood in front of him. "Narada." "Krishna?" "Narada, where is my glass of water?" And Narada finally understood the nature of Maya. Prakriti, matter, is in a constant state of change, and the study of Prakriti is comparable to the study of the ocean's surface. While knowledge of ripples and waves might be gained by such a study, the ocean below that holds the ripples and waves together is not taken into consideration. Scientists who study the physical universe are constantly updating and revising their texts and theories. Mystical texts, on the other hand, deal with spiritual truths and values that never need to be updated or revised. The ego expresses itself, Arjuna, through its likes and dislikes. As in, I like ice cream, but I don't like onions? On a small scale, yes. The illusion of Maya is reinforced by the independent expression of countless egos in the world, without regard or consideration for the ego expressions of others. Those who walk the spiritual path, however, have chosen to give up their own ego expression in order to help and serve those who are still enmeshed within the grand illusion. The spiritual seeker who has attained samadhi will see divine spirit existing in everyone and everything. And what happens to that awareness when they die? People whose lives are entangled in the webs of karma and maya experience a disruption of consciousness at the time of death. The slate of their memory is wiped clean. But for self-realized sages, there is no disruption of consciousness when they die. They therefore retain their awareness of the spirit that infuses all things. Does this mean that sages have cheated death? It's more that the sage has gone beyond bodily death to the realms of conscious immortality. There once was a young couple who prayed and prayed for a son who would be a devotee of Lord Shiva. When the boy was born, King Yama, the Lord of Death himself, visited the family. Your prayers have been answered. Your son will be a great devotee of Lord Shiva. But there is one catch. What kind of catch? On his 16th birthday, your son will die. I will see you all again on that day. The boy, named Markandeya, did grow up completely devoted to Lord Shiva. His parents never told Markandeya about Yama's pronouncement until the day of his 16th birthday. And today the King of Death will come to take you away from us, my son. Markandeya began to meditate on Lord Shiva. When Yama came to take Markandeya away, he was surprised to see Shiva there, guarding the boy. Fate has ordained that on this day Markandeya must die. Not so fast, Yama. This boy has taken refuge in me and is under my protection. This is an outrage. Begone, King Yama. You have no power here. I have granted Markandeya immortality. Frustrated and bitter, the Lord of Death departed, resolving to reap his grim harvest in more fertile fields. So Markandeya attained conscious immortality? He did. And one day, so shall you, Arjuna, my dear friend. One day, so shall you. Namaste.